Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. My brother in Islam, Dr. Zakir Naik. Indra from Jakarta, Indonesia. Which is better, doing Dawah alone or to join a Dawah organization? Question 1. Question 2. What's your opinion about Tabligh Jamat? About Jamaat Tabligh? Can we join it for Dawah? And the third question. Why does Dr. Zakir Naik not join other Dawah organizations? As far as the first question is concerned, what is better, doing Dawah alone or doing Dawah by joining a Dawah organization? The answer is, whichever is more beneficial, whichever way you can do more Dawah, that's better. But generally, doing Dawah by joining a Dawah organization is more beneficial. Because you do it collectively, you do it in a Jama, there's more barakah and it is more effective. Now when you're doing Dawah in an organization, it is properly structured, you have many people in it, maybe tens, hundreds, thousands, depending upon the organization you join. It is more structured, you have people to help you, the people to correct you, you can help other people. So always doing Dawah through an organization is multiple times beneficial than doing individually. There may be certain situation where individually you may have certain things or some ideas which no other Dawah organization have, and you have certain skills. So in this case, if you feel that you have certain skills and you want something unique, your technique, etc., then you start an organization. If you think that you are something unique. And I always say that when someone starts a Muslim organization, Islamic organization, see to it that that organization is doing things which are first as per the Quran and Sunnah, number one. Secondly, see to it that don't reinvent the wheel. If everyone is doing the same thing, what is the benefit? See to it that you do things which are unique and do it with quality. Number one should be as per the Quran and Sunnah. Number two, see it is unique. Number three, see to it that it is the best. Then you have a unique organization which is the best in the world. So always doing Dawah in organization is beneficial as compared to individually. But today, because the whole world is a global village, and you can do Dawah through social media, through the internet, on the Facebook, on the Instagram, on the YouTube, and there are various channels. So nowadays, of course, doing Dawah on individual level is also possible. But if you join an organization, that organization may train you, it may be more effective, you can do in a collaboration, you can do together with your friends, you can be more effective. But you can do alone also. So depending upon the situation, depending upon how much time is at your disposal, depending upon what is your work profile, all these pros and cons, whichever, for example, you go into a Dawah organization, it's very far away from your house and traveling takes 1 hour, coming back is 1 hour and you will waste more of time. Then in such situation, if you think you can do individually better, no problem. But see to it that you associate yourself with the organization. If you can't go daily, you go once a week or go once a month. Associating with it is beneficial so that you can be more effective. As far as the second question is concerned, what is your opinion about Jamaat Tabligh? Can we join it for Dawah? As far as Tabligh Jamat is concerned, Alhamdulillah, it is one of the organizations of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. And you know, every organization has got pros and cons. On a whole, as a whole, not looking at the minor mistakes, it is a good organization. As I said, every organization has got pros and cons. They have got plus points and negative points. Tabligh Jamaat is basically not an organization that is focusing on the non-Muslims. They are mainly focusing on the Muslims. What they are doing is not Tabligh. Tabligh mainly means Dawah, giving the message to the non-Muslim. What they actually do is Islah. Islah means to improve, to repair, to correct. And they're doing it. They're doing an excellent job. And they make Sharabi Kababi into Namazi. They go door to door, they keep on knocking, and they see to it that tell the Muslims, why don't you come to the mosque? Why don't you offer salah? Why don't you fast? So, as far as Islam is concerned, they are doing an excellent job. And it is one of the largest Muslim organization in the world. They are not so much for media, but yet the network is very good. Even though they are not so much involved in media, but the network is good, and the conferences they have, the gathering they have is in large number. It's in thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions. They're very good. One of the major drawbacks as far as I'm concerned is that they give importance to a book called as Tablighi Nisab, a book Tablighi Nisab, or it's called as Fazail Amal. So in India and Pakistan, and these people, of course, they are on Quran, they are on Sunnah, but in their circles, in their durus, they study more of this book than Quran Sunnah. But not that they don't follow Quran Sunnah, they follow Quran Sunnah. And in this book, there are many stories, etc. Some, and there are hadiths which are zaif. So this is a drawback. But the Tabligh Jamat in the Gulf country, they read Riyadh Salihin. So this is good. Riyadh Salihin is a wonderful book. It's a wonderful book of hadith. And every Muslim home, besides the Quran, should have this book also. So in the Gulf country, the Tabligh Jamat focus more on Riyadh Salihin. But in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they focus more on Tablighi Nisab, or known as Fazail Amal. So this is a drawback. Otherwise, the organization is doing good work. It's from the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. And I'm aware that one of the Gulf country has called them, and called them as an organization involved in terrorism. And that time I give my worry that by no way is the Tabligh Jamat involved in terrorism. There may be one or two members who have done something wrong, so you cannot blame the organization because of one or two members. So as a whole, Tabligh Jamat is from the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat, and as a whole, they are doing good work, mashallah. And regarding a question that can we join for Dawah? As I said, the Tabligh Jamat is more involved in Islam, not in Dawah. Though there are certain people, for example, Maulana Kaleem Siddiqui, he's a Tablighi from Tabligh Jamat, and he's very well versed in Dawah amongst the non-Muslims. He's from India. But basically, Tabligh Jamat is more for Islam, not for Dawah. And the third question, in the same question, why does Dr. Zakir not join other Dawah organizations? As far as joining other Dawah organizations is concerned, as you may be aware, that after being inspired by Sheikh Ahmed Deedat in Bombay, we started our own organization by the name of Islamic Research Foundation. And alhamdulillah, we started in 1991 when I was doing my internship. And alhamdulillah, we started with one employee and we grew, mashallah. It became, in the next few years, in the next 10-15 years, mashallah, it became one of the largest Muslim private Dawah organization in the world, where we had more than 500 full-time paid employees only in Bombay and a couple of hundred in other parts of the world. And it was the largest private Muslim Dawah organization, alhamdulillah, Allah blessed it. So much so that we were so effective that, mashallah, thousands of non-Muslims accepting Islam in India, so much so that the Indian government, after Modi came to power, started laying allegation that we're involved in terrorism. Then they wrote a letter to the Interpol and they refused it. Then they changed the allegation from terrorism to hate speech. Again, the Interpol refused. Then they changed it to money laundering. So because of this, in 2016, I had to do Hijrah. So to say that why don't I join other organizations, I myself am involved in many organizations. I was the president of Islamic Research Foundation. Now the government has banned it. Even the IRF Educational Trust, where there were schools. But most of the organization that I was actively involved, I was the main person involved. As a main trustee, you can call it the president, or you can call the main person involved, so that I could do at my own free will. I'm a person who's very strict as per the Quran and Sunnah. As far as other organization is concerned, alhamdulillah, I personally cooperate with most of the leading Dawah organizations in the world. as far as the Dawah organizations are concerned in the world, alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, I'm in touch with most of the leading Dawah organizations in the world from different parts of the world, whether it be America, UK, Europe, Australia, Africa, alhamdulillah. So much so that, mashallah, I'm in touch with the heads of most of the popular mainstream Dawah organizations in the world from different countries. And what we used to do, that when we had the conference, we had the, mashallah, one of the largest Islamic conference in the world, and we used to call people from all different organizations. And I believe, except for those Muslim organizations which were involved in too much of bid'at and shirk, that we abstained from. As a whole, always believe, as Allah says in the Quran in Surah Imran, chapter 3, verse number 103, وَاتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold to the rope of Allah strongly and be not divided. The rope of Allah is the glorious Quran and the Sahih Hadith. So we used to cooperate with as many Muslim Dawah organizations as possible, except those Muslim organizations who were involved in too much of bid'at and shirk, we used to stay away from. Otherwise, and when we had conferences, we used to call the main speakers from all the organizations. When we started having conference in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, so we had for 5 years, it became so popular. So in India, we used to call people from different organizations. We used to call from Deoband, we used to call from Nadwa, from Jamaat Islam, from Ahle Hadith, the Hanafi, the Shafi, the Salafi, and we have one platform. And we give a platform to all so that we collaborate and we work together. We may have our small differences, but we collaborate together and we are united. So always, whenever you have an organization, or see to it that you cooperate with the other Muslim Dawah organizations so that you can be more effective. So this has been a policy, and yes, we had a policy of collaborating and supporting various Dawah organizations, not only with techniques, with materials, even financially. And we saw to it that those organizations that were involved in Dawah, when we started a satellite channel, Peace TV, of course, we started collaborating with all the Islamic satellite channels, whether it be in English language, whether it be in Urdu language, as long as they were not involved in bid'at and shirk. That was the only criteria. We supported them with whatever we can, with our technology, with our knowledge, and with even finance. So whether it be Dawah channels, satellite channels, whether it be Dawah organization, whether it be Dawah institutions, whether it be individual dais, at all levels, we used to collaborate, and we do that even now. Even though we have left India, we did Hijrah about 7 years back. Even now, mashallah, we are in touch with most of the Duat and most of the Islamic organization, and we try and support and help each other. Hope that answers the question.